Hey, Kristina here at the Eugene Science Center, and today I'm going to be talking to you about non-Newtonian fluids. So there are three states of matter. There's solid, liquid, and gas. Non-Newtonian fluids fall somewhere in between a solid and a liquid form. So one example would be slime. So I have a slime sample here. Now you can tell that I'm not really moving my hands too much, but it is slowly but surely dripping down to my lower hand. But it is still somewhat solid because I can still grip it, move it around. It's not a liquid that is just dripping everywhere like water. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a different type of non-Newtonian fluid that isn't slime. If you want to make slime, check out one of our other videos. But this is called Oobleck, and it only takes 2 ingredients. And these are ingredients you definitely have at home. So in this cup here, I have 1 cup of cornstarch measured out already. And then in this cup, I have about half a cup of water measured out. Because I like color, I'm gonna add a little bit of red. I like adding it to the cornstarch because it gives it sort of a, let's say, sprinkle effect that I really like, kind of a swirl effect. That's really fun. I'm going to be adding several drops. Now, because the cornstarch is white, it's going to turn out a little bit more on the pink side, and that's okay. If you like pastels, this is a really fun way to mess with pastel colors. So to begin with, what I'm going to be doing is putting just a little bit of my water in. I don't want to put all of my water in because there's a high chance that I have too much water. If we add too much water, it becomes entirely a liquid and we don't hit that really nice middle consistency. So I'm just going to pour, let's say, about half my water here. I'm spreading it around to make it so that I don't have too much powder that I might poof everywhere. And then once I have it in there, I've chosen a bowl that doesn't have too many edges so that I can really dig down and get all of the powder. So I'm going to start mixing it. The best way to do this is by hand. So I'm going to dig in there, start mixing it around. Whoop, got a little bit of a poof. And really try and make sure that I get all the powder. Now, as you can tell, I still have a lot of powder at the bottom, and this isn't really turning very liquidy. So I'm gonna add more of my water. I'm adding it to the bottom to make sure that I can get all of that cornstarch in there. And I'm gonna mix it around some more. You can see that color really starting to form, and it becomes pretty easy to tell what's been mixed in and what hasn't been if some of it has color and some of it is still white. So that's another reason why I like to add the food coloring to the cornstarch to begin with. Now you can tell I have these sort of chunks that are going on here. They kind of are turning a little bit liquidy. So let's see if I can pick up one of the more liquidy chunks. So you can see it's already starting to flow over my fingers. This is what we want. This is what we want for the entirety of our mixture. But you can already tell I still have some chunks that are solid cornstarch. So I'm going to add just a little bit more water and mix that in. Ooh, this is really starting to turn into a very nice oobleck. Again, you don't want to add too much water because if you do, then it just becomes liquid. Now I have most of this mix. I'm really having to dig down to get to that cornstarch layer at the bottom. Whoop, overflowing a little bit here. But this is looking very ooblecky. All right, now I'm going to show you something really cool about oobleck. So you can see me sort of swishing it around. Looks very liquidy, right? But I'm going to take a clean finger, or at least mostly clean, and I'm going to poke it. Now this is the cool thing that you can do with oobleck. This is what makes it a solid. So I'm going to give it a quick poke. Boop. My finger is not going in at all. It feels like a solid when I hit it, you know, and I'm poking it pretty hard. What happens if I take the same finger but I just slowly put it in? Let's see what happens. So I'm just going to gently put my finger in. It is completely liquid to my finger. My finger is just going straight through. Oop, got a little bit of suction, and it goes right back to being liquid. Really cool stuff. All right, well, thank you for sharing this with me. You can make this easily at home. I hope you have a whole lot of fun with science.